Hey guys, it's Dino. We are continuing with some more complex stuff in the end game. I'm happy to move on some more difficult stuff because I'm about 2000 rated right now and it's kind of boring for me, to be honest, to do, I don't know, basic mates, but for you beginners it's really instructive and I had to cover it, so that's it. Moving on. Here we're gonna start with the king and pawn endgames. First of all, very basic. We already did some basic king and pawn endgame, but here we are expanding. So we're gonna see different scenarios where side with the pawn is winning, where it is not winning, where it is draw, and so on. So in this particular case, it is a draw because it is a rook pawn. White cannot make a progress, even though he has the position and has everything in place. But you can see black just needs to go back and forth to these two squares, and there is no way for white to get any progress here. And if we push, it's gonna be stalemate, and if we, I don't know, try to do some tricks, there is really no tricks. You can go back and forth, but there is no way. Black just needs to go back and forth. So let's move on to another example. And here is the question: can white win if he is? The most important thing is for your king to be in front of the pawn, and the question is, can white win if he's one square up in front of the pawn? And let's see. So the basic answer is that who has the opposition. If white has the opposition, then he wins. If black has the opposition, then it's a draw. So let me show you first how if black has the opposition. So now white has to move, and then black just maintains the opposition. See, and there is no way to for white king to get around, and that's the most important thing, to get around this black king and push this pawn, because black is blocking his way with basic opposition. And now let me show you what happens if white has the opposition, and how to win this game. Basically, let's say black has to, of course, move here or here, and then a crucial thing, just white is making progress, going forward. Let's say if black goes here, you take the opposition again and go forward. If black tries to go here, you just push the pawn. And here it is important not to push this pawn. That's really important, because now it's a draw. Instead of that, you take this opposition and then push the pawn. Take a position again, and now it's easily winning. Let's say black tries to do something like this, to take diagonal position. Let me go back here, and then black tries to do some tricky stuff, but you don't care about that, you just go up. The mistake would be to go here, and then again it's a simple draw. Black, we've seen this in one of the previous video. Black just needs to go up and down, and there is no way for us to make the progress. And instead we go here, and now it's easy. If we go here, we take the position. If he tries to trick us the same way, we just make a progress. And if he goes here, we just push the pawn. And it's really easy. Let me show you one other time. I showed you some sidelines, but let me show you the main line. Say he goes here, take the position, make a progress, take the position, go up. If you try something like this, here you cannot lose, even if you allow him to take the position, but of course you have a lot of tempis here, maybe here, and you just push the pawn. So really easy stuff. So to summarize, in the case that in this position where white king is one square up in front of the pawn, then if you have the opposition as white, then you win. If you don't, it's a draw. And let me show you the example where the white is two squares in front of the pawn, and in that case actually you always win. And let me show you, and let me show you the reason why. Because let's say you don't have the opposition, and you would say, okay, I don't have the opposition, it's a draw. But actually, because you are two steps or two squares in front of the pawn, then you win actually, because you have this extra tempo, and now you have the opposition. And you just repeat the same things that I showed you previously. Let's say he goes here, you go here, you don't allow this. Here, and all that awesome stuff. Really easy from here. So remember, two squares in front of the pawn, it's always winning. And beware of some tricks that I showed you in a previous example, where maybe black wants to trick you. Probably you're gonna mess that up a few times, but you're gonna learn from mistakes. Okay, let's move on some other interesting concepts, and that is, it is kind of funnily called chicken or fox in the chicken soup. Because let me just put some pawns first and then explain. And here it is white move. Yeah, so it is called fox in the chicken soup, chicken cup actually, because in this case fox is white king, and he is gonna go after these chickens. And the way he's gonna do it is he's gonna push this pawn and try to distract black by this pawn, and just run and take these pawns, because black has to stay here and take this pawn, because this pawn can promote into the queen. And then, yeah, let me show you in the example. So b5, king b7, king a5. We try to go as far as we can here to distract, to have more time to go here. King a7, we again push the pawn, king b7, king b5, king b8, and now king c6. Now black takes the position, and now we cannot promote this pawn because black has the opposition, but we actually, as I said, we don't need to promote this pawn. This pawn is just is a diversion, and we instead just go after these pawns. So it's really simple from here. We took two pawns, and now it's really easy to win this endgame. So let's go back. Basically, when you see this and you have extra pawn here, you just want to push as far as you can this pawn, and when you achieve that, just leave that pawn here and go after these pawns, these chickens. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on a few, one or two, I think, important concepts too. So here, so this scenario is impossible because there is no kings, but let me just illustrate how one pawn can kill or freeze two pawns. So in this example, if we play this move, we actually this one pawn froze in place these two pawns, because this pawn cannot move, because we're gonna take, or of course it cannot move two space also because we're gonna take en passant. Here for some reason it's not allowing me to do that, but okay. And also, and if it is a black move, it can go here, takes, and then that pawn is gonna promote. And also this pawn also can freeze these two pawns. If he goes here, I cannot move it. If he goes here, then two pawns are frozen. And that's really interesting thing to remember, that that you have that opportunity to freeze these pawns, and also for you to avoid if you have two pawns, try to avoid this situation, because it can cost you the game in the end game. So let's show that in example with kings in a, I guess, real game. So let's see. So it's a white move, and white can make a really bad mistake, and it is to play g4, after which black can play g5, and these two pawns are frozen, and black is gonna win easily. Let's say he plays king b3, and black just goes after these pawns. And here also remember, really interesting, it would be a mistake to go here, because white will go here and it's gonna be draw. So it's really important to avoid that. And if you take this pawn, then you're gonna lose the game, or maybe not lose, but he's gonna promote the queen and you're gonna promote the queen. So really important to avoid that. And instead, you don't go here, you go here. And now you cannot go here because you take this pawn too. And with this move, you win the game, because you go here, take this pawn, and you promote this pawn really easily. Instead of that, white should have just played this move, and it's gonna, by this move he's gonna win. By this way, g4. Let's say king. So king e4, and now we play h5. And that's it. And it's a draw. So really interesting how even despite black having this pawn and using that fox in the chicken cup technique that I showed you, because we have these two pawns and we can make a passed pawn, it's a draw. Because black cannot go here, because we're gonna take this pawn, and he cannot go here because we're gonna promote. He has to go here. Actually, he's gonna lose this way, so he has to take to make a draw. I hope you understand this example. I tried to explain it as the best as I could, and I guess that's it. That's all the example for king and pawn endings. So as usual, I hope you learned something. It's a lot of material, I guess, but maybe watch it a few times. And yeah, at the end, I'm gonna give you some exercises to practice this new acquired knowledge. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and donate if you can, and see you in the next video.